So this is the front entrance foyer where I'll be putting the shoe rack. It'll be going along that wall. I've already measured out everything, the walls and the height, space and everything. I've done some drawings and mocked up the sketches, and now we gotta go check out material. I'll also need some sort of cross bracing solution. You'll see what I mean by the end of the video. All right, so I might use something like this. Looks like maybe 1.5 inch, 1.25 inch maybe. This one is Douglas fir board. Trying to decide between the Baltic birch or the Luan or the Luan. They got pieces of wood like that. Definitely want to try something with that for a different project. All right, so just picked up 5 pieces of white birch pre-finished plywood, and they cut it down to size for me for free, which is nice because I don't have a table saw to cut it down. So there we go. All right, I need to go to Home Depot to check for the other wood, and the wood keeps, you know, slipping around because it's pre-finished, so it's like very smooth. All right, that's better, but I got a splinter doing that. I want pieces that are almost perfectly straight. And on the way home, we're gonna stop for some tacos. Some street tacos, baby. Back home, firstly, we must measure and make sure they're all actually exactly 14 inches across. And then just gonna sand the edges, clean it up so we don't get any more splinters. So I've already done the design and measurements, and now it's time to cut the wood based on what I've mocked up. First most important part is getting rid of this factory edge, making it perfectly flat. Finished cutting the uprights, now onto the cross pieces, which are half as thick, and I'll need 12 of these at 14 inches each. So these 14-inch cross pieces have to try to be almost exact because they are going to be underlaid on the plywood, and they need to be flush with the edges of the plywood. Back to more sanding. I was hoping to get away with using one piece of sandpaper for multiple pieces of wood, but after just this one piece, this is what it looks like, and it's smooth. Now going in with a wet towel, gonna clean off. Oh, and by the way, the uprights are red oak, the crossbars are mahogany, and the panels are white birch. One thing I do gotta check is that these are actually a good fitment and there's a reasonable margin of error. I don't want to stain them first and then install it, realize I have to cut off or shave off some pieces after I've already stained it, you know? This is what I'm checking for, just so that they're damn near flush. This one's a little bit, and it looks like we're actually pretty good with every single one except maybe this one right here. All right, so I moved over because we have to let this dry in the shade, and as you can see, the sun is starting to hit everything, at least where I was working before. And I'm gonna be applying some pre-stain. I usually use this, and this just dries clear, or like gives the wood its natural dark tone. This time I bought some darker colored wood stain. This one's Kona, so hopefully it'll make these all turn out like a almost walnut color, much darker color. And the reason I'm doing that is so that it contrasts nicely with the white birch panels. So very light tone panels with a very dark tone frame kind of idea. Also, these will be linked in the description. Almost forgot the gloves, bruh. Oh, damn. Yo, that's like black. And this is oil-based, not water-based. basically dry and they look nothing like the picture. These pretty much dried black. I still like the look though, and the contrast will be really nice. On the can it says like 2 hours to dry, but as you can see, it's still not dry. It's been like 3 hours. So I'm gonna leave it inside and wait till tomorrow morning. The next morning, time to apply some clear coat, but these large pieces are still not dry yet, not 100% dry, but the small pieces are ready. Gonna be using some polyacrylic top coat, clear top coat. Clear top coat is pretty much dry. The only annoying thing are when it dries, the contact points leave little marks, really noticeable on here. The only solution for this is to have it dry in midair. I mean, I could also cover 3 sides, let that dry, cover the final side after the other 3 sides have dried. I don't know, maybe we'll try to sand this and get rid of these markings. All right, so the bigger beams practically dry, but what I'm gonna do is just paint 2 sides, let that dry for a couple hours, and then flip it and paint the other 2 sides. Thick spillage. Been like a couple hours. I think it's dry enough to flip. Yeah, low-key. Dry enough that when we flip it onto the metal things, hopefully we don't get any of the same thing that just happened with the smaller pieces. Let's do it. Now we're gonna keep them inside dry till we need them, because leaving them outside overnight, the moisture content in the air, not good for drying. The wood looks really nice. It came out really nice. Look what I just got. All right, I gotta do some quick maths because I'm gonna have the 2 uprights on the back, and then I'm gonna cross brace them so that we have some structural rigidity, and also so that we don't have any tilt. And I don't have any more material, so I need to go get some. But to maximize cost savings, we want to measure exactly how much I'll need. So I really only need to get around that amount. So now I have to do some triangle measurement stuff. Feel like I'm in high school again. Never thought I'd use these math measurements or algebra or whatever in my adulthood. Bought a couple pieces of poplar, which looks similar in tone to the plywood that I bought, even though that's birch. And this will be for the cross bracing. Now just gotta cut 45-degree angles. It's time to measure and mark the points where I'm gonna be drilling holes to insert the dowels, because these are gonna go like that. And also, I'm gonna be taking a look at each face to see what looks the nicest on each face, to have that facing outwards. And if there's something like this, that's obviously gonna face backwards. Mark the center point of the crossbars. It's a lot easier because I just have to put an X. Did a terrible job, but as long as they connect. So for this cross piece that's going on the back, I'm not gonna stain it, just gonna use some clear coat. It's now time to put it all together, get it set up. It's like we're building Legos. Five sixteenths. Gonna let it dry like this overnight so that the wood glue can set, and then use this final piece to straighten out these on both sides. It is the next day. It's been like 24 hours. The wood is definitely dry. And now we're gonna take the weight off and put the plywood into the slats, into the ladder, and that'll basically be it. So the assembly part is now complete. Now it's in position right here. And this is basically the complete design. We've got 5 layers, technically 6 because you can count the floor as one. So we've got the top layer and then 8 inches between each sub layer. 1, 2, 3, 4 sub layers, and then about 10 inches at the bottom for some, boots or something like that. And then we've got the two-tone design. The front beams are slightly lower than the back beams. And also, I was thinking of covering these with maybe a different color piece of wood, like gluing a slat or something, just to add a nice little touch. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, if I should do that or there's another suggestion. Also, I was thinking of leaving this open, the layers of the plywood, but maybe I paint it or again cover it with something. Tomorrow morning I'm going to refinish some of these edges that have kind of been scuffed during the assembly. Other than that, it's time to start putting it to use. And also make sure to stay tuned because along with this shoe rack, I'm gonna build a bench on this side of the foyer to, sit down while you're putting your shoes on, while you're tying your shoes. And also, since the bench will be a lot higher, you can put taller boots under it. So, come soon.